Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's 7 p.m. Time to begin our planning commission for this month. First of all, we will have the prayer given by Commissioner Baker, and the flag salute be led by Commissioner Hatley. Would everybody please stand?
Lord, thank you for allowing us to live in a nation where we can gather peacefully. Watch over our troops overseas and our law enforcement, firefighters, and paramedics who serve our community on a daily basis. Guide us as we go through this meeting, as we leave this hall in our daily lives. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Chairman Taylor,
Here.
Commissioner Davis, Commissioner Hatley,
Here.
Commissioner Baker.
Here.
Item 1 is the approval of the minutes of the August 10 meeting. Does anybody have a correction, or do we have a motion?
I move we accept the minutes as written.
I'll second.
Motion and a second to accept the minutes as presented. Call the roll, please.
Commissioner Baker,
Yes.
Chairman Taylor,
Yes.
Commissioner Hatley.
Yes.
Item 2 is the visitors section. If there's anyone here that would like to address the commission about a non-agenda item tonight, now would be the opportunity to do that. Seeing none, we will proceed. Before we proceed, I need to inform everybody that has business with the council or with the commission tonight that we're a 5-member group and 2 members are not here. So you cannot pass anything with 2 yes votes. If there's 1 no vote, the item fails. So if you feel like it, you feel uncomfortable with that, you can have it withdrawn or tabled until the next meeting. But it would require 3 yes votes to pass tonight. Just wanted everybody to understand that. Item 3 is to hear a request by Daryl Janko, property owner, for a second curb cut for a circular driveway located at 629 Frisco Ridge, Yukon, Oklahoma. Is someone here on that?
Yes, sir. I'm Daryl Janko.
Okay.
The property that we're talking about is in the Frisco Ridge, Phase 2, and it's a corner lot. And the garage is on one street, and the front of the house is on the other street. And I have an invalid father that has a walker and a wheelchair. And so in order for him to go into the front door area, I need to be able to drive a car and park a car there for him to get out and be able to go in the house without having to go through the garage all the time.
Okay.
That was the main reason for the circle drive.
Either one of the commissioners have questions, or would one of you care to read the draft motion?
I'll read it.
Okay.
In the case of the request by Daryl Janko to construct a circular driveway and new curbs cut at 629 Frisco Ridge Road, we have read the staff report and received testimony at the public hearing. We find ourselves in agreement with staff findings, including all plans and attachments cited in the staff reports. I move that this item be approved.
Have a second?
Second.
We've done this many times. Is there any comments or questions from anyone in the audience? Call the roll, Kathy.
Chairman Taylor,
Yes.
Commissioner Hatley,
Yes.
Commissioner Baker.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Item 4 is to hear a request by Scott Wiles, property manager of Lisa Plaza, on behalf of RBC Bank for consideration of review and approval wall signage for Lee's Plaza Shopping Center as recommended by the Design Plan Unit Development for Garth Brooks Commercial Park Phase 4. Yes, sir.
Hello, I'm Scott Wiles.
So is this just a lit sign out front?
Correct, it's the tenant wall sign on the front of their location.
So we're gonna have a bank at that location?
Yeah, it's gonna be a production loan office, basically, starting out.
Okay. I think we did one of these at the last meeting.
We did physical therapy.
Physical therapy, yes.
So
Okay.
this is for the RCB Bank and for the salon?
No.
The next item on the agenda is a salon. This is just RTB Bank at this.
The motion I'm looking at says both.
There are two items on the agenda.
Did they,
With the, yeah, he's right, the draft motion says it's for the bank and the salon.
okay, Kathy, you put both of these on one motion, and these are two separate items.
This is actually Cindy's report that she submitted, or that was submitted for her.
So to read the draft motion, we can just leave one of them out,
Yes,
correct?
that's correct.
Yes.
Okay,
So, shall we do the RCB this time?
yes, RC Bank, yeah.
Okay, let me make some corrections here.
You wanna read that for us?
Yeah, maybe, just a moment. Okay, and the bank is on the end?
Correct, it's on
Property.
the north end.
Okay. If there's no other questions, I'll read the motion.
Do you have anything?
No, I don't.
Go right ahead.
In the case of the sign permit submitted by TASYR Enterprise LLC for RCB Bank, we have read the staff report and received testimony at the public hearing. We find ourselves in agreement with staff findings. I move that the submitted detail sign be approved with the following conditions. The tenant sign criteria be brought back before the Planning Commission for review and approval as part of the PUD amendment application prior to the submittal of any additional individual tenant sign applications.
That would not, since we already have it on the agenda tonight, we will go ahead and consider the nail salon also. But that, after that,
Right. Yeah.
okay, do you want to second that?
I'll second that.
All right, there's any discussion or questions? Is that okay, Mr. Attorney, the way we did
That's good.
that? Call the roll, please.
Commissioner Baker,
Yes.
Commissioner Hatley,
Yes.
Chairman Taylor.
Yes. Item 6, a request by Scott Wiles, property manager of Aliza Plaza, on behalf of Essence Nail for consideration and review of approved wall signage for Aliza Plaza Shopping Center as requested by the Design Plan Unit Development for Garth Brooks Commercial Park Phase 4. So this is the exact same thing for another tenant.
Immediately adjacent to this RTB.
Is
Bank.
it right next door to the
Right
bank?
next door, yes.
And so when these two are done, how many more
We
places?
have 3 more spaces, all under negotiation at this point, and we'll be prepared to submit these tenant criteria in the next session.
So by the next time it comes forward, we should have an amendment to the PUD to look at?
Correct, to my understanding of how the process works. So.
Okay.
But we'll be submitting that on our end within the week. So.
Okay.
Okay, you want to read this?
I will.
You doing the second one?
Yeah.
I just reiterate my request that when the sign does go up, that the temporary signs in the grass out front could come down.
All tenants understand
All
that.
right, I'll
And we
keep saying-
appreciate your understanding.
I'll keep saying it anyway.
All right, in the case of the sign permit submitted by TASYR Enterprise LLC for Essence Nail Salon, we have read the staff report and received testimony at the public hearing. We find ourselves in agreement with staff findings. I move that the submitted detailed sign permit be approved with the following conditions. That the tenant sign criteria be brought back before the Planning Commission for review and approval as part of the PUD amendment application prior to the submittal of any additional individual tenant sign applications.
So that takes effect now for any of it and more. We want to try to get this all done under a one deal.
Understand. We appreciate that too.
Oh, yeah. Second that?
Any more discussion?
I have no discussion.
I'll second.
Okay, any questions or comments? All right, Kathy? Call the roll.
Chairman Taylor?
Yes.
Commissioner Hatley?
Yes.
Commissioner Baker?
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Item 6, to hear a request by John Phillips, pastor of the Good Fight Church, on behalf of Wilco Homes to rezone from C5 Automotive and Commercial Recreational District to a C3 Restricted Commercial District, lots 5 and 6 and 7 in Block 2, Harris Acres, an addition to the town of Yukon, Canadian County, according to the recorded plat thereof, better known as 500 East Main, Yukon, Oklahoma. This is the previous life was the bowling alley. Yes, sir. State your name and,
My name is John Phipps.
okay? I'm sorry, I mispronounced your name.
Okay.
Sorry. Tell us about what you're doing there.
So right now we are a relatively new church. We are a church plant in February of this year. We currently meet at Stable Rock Baptist. They allow us to use their facilities, their church on Saturday nights. We've been looking for a home, and Wilco Homes has generously purchased the old bowling alley in hopes that we turn it into a church. The building will be used Sundays for service and then hopefully 7 days a week to help people throughout the week.
In what way?
Several different ways. Through discipleship, we'll have groups that help people overcome life-controlling problems at this location, meaning anything that's got a grip on people's lives, we'll ask them to come in and give them accountability and sponsorship and help them get through life.
Okay. Is that building right now is just a shell building, is it not? Or
It is, yes, it's been completely stripped clean inside. And on the outside. It's a dump. That's on the record.
I think it's interesting where you've had a bar and a liquor and drink, and it's going to turn into a church.
Well, the bar itself, we're considering turning that into a coffee shop eventually, run by our youth,
Right.
and have that as an establishment where our people can come and be discipled and have different types of groups throughout the week.
So that's still intact.
That is still intact. That's the one thing in the bowling alley that was left pretty much intact. Speakers, the only thing they took out was carpet and wood and everything else, but it's
Okay.
still there.
So it's going to be like a retail coffee shop?
No. Right now, it's just going to be a church only, but it's going to be used as a coffee type space for our church. Anything beyond that is on down the road. Right now, we just want to get it up and running so we might be able to help people as soon as possible.
Just about a place for the youth to gather,
Yes.
drink sodas and stuff on Sunday evening, probably.
Heck with them, we don't. Youth can get by on their own.
Yeah.
All right.
Commissioner Hatley, you have anything?
No, none of this.
Any other questions? One of you care to read the draft motion?
I'll read it. In the case of the application for rezoning submitted by the Good Fight Church, John Phipps, on behalf of Wilco Homes LLC, we have read the staff report and received testimony at the public hearing. We find ourselves in agreement with staff findings, including all plans and attachments cited in the staff report. I move that this item be recommended for approval to the City Council.
So you'll have, do we have a second?
I'll second that.
Is anybody, any questions, comments? You'll have to come before the city council should we pass this and go through it again.
Yes, sir.
And they have final say on anything that goes on here in town.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we just recommend one way or the other.
Sounds good.
Call the roll, please.
Chairman Taylor?
Yes.
Commissioner Hatley?
Yes.
Commissioner Baker?
Yes.
There you go.
Thank you.
You bet. Y'all are welcome to stay for the rest of the meeting if you'd like. Item 7 is a request by Joe Carson, Warhawk Legal, for rezoning from C2 Convenience Commercial District to C3 Restricted Commercial District. And it's track 1, and we have a long legal description here, which basically is the old Snyder's grocery store. And also a piece of ground just to the west. It is actually part of their drive on the west side, but it's a separate little piece of ground that is included in track 2. And the address of that is 10 West Main. Mr. Attorney, is that satisfactory?
That's satisfactory, thank you.
Okay, yes, sir?
My name is Joe Carson, and I'm here to request approval. Ultimately, it is C2 as it sets, and C3 would allow certain tenants that have interest in it to be allowed to come on board, generate some tax revenue, and hopefully clean up a blighted piece of property and make everyone proud.
Great. So I've read something in the paper about what you have planned for it. What are some of the, you gonna have some commercial stores in front, or?
Yes, sir. On the east end, we have a coffee shop going in. And then next to it, we have a paint studio that is potentially going in.
A paint studio?
Yeah,
Oh, where
like
people go to paint?
Paint, yeah.
I see.
And then on the far end, I've got 2 different restaurants that I don't want to say names just because they haven't signed and nothing's for sure, but ultimately are interested in nice restaurants. And then, you know, we've got nail salons and hair salons, but I'm kind of pushing them back just to hopefully to make it more of like a destination place for, I don't want to say recreation, but places where people go to enjoy themselves, eat. And, I'm looking for an ice cream type venue, different things to bring people there to where they'll feed off of each other, but then also be able to benefit from the event center. We've got a 13,000-foot event center going in the back of it.
That would be very nice.
I think the city would be proud when we're done with it.
Okay.
I really do.
Well, I'm certainly glad we're doing something with that. Thank you.
Well, I just find it, unusual, or not unusual, but different that 10 months ago they were trying to tear it down, and now you found a useful purpose for it.
Well, there's a lot of people in this town that have a sentimental attachment to that building, and I can understand why. I grew up swimming in a swimming pool just to the west of it, watching the people, and grew up going over there. I mean, it was part of me.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a hard time with people that latch on, you know, but my dad's that way. I mean, they have a hard time letting go. And I looked for single tenant uses for years. I looked for ways to divide it up and get a big box retail or something, a grocery store. Ultimately being in that part of the town, and it is an odd shaped building. And whenever I'd get someone that'd be interested in it, they would say, it doesn't really fit our cookie cutter plan. And so we hired a lot of outside people and went through a lot of hoops, and this was what we came up with as the best use instead of tearing it down.
Okay.
It probably would have been less expensive to tear it down and start over. But, at the end of the day, I think people will like what we're going to end up doing.
Yeah, I'm excited about it.
I am too.
Any other questions for you gentlemen?
No.
Care to read?
All right.
Okay.
In the case of the application for rezoning submitted by 10 West Main Street LLC, we have read the staff report and received testimony at the public hearing. We find ourselves in agreement with staff findings, including all plans and attachments cited in the staff report. I move that this item be recommended for approval to the City Council.
Okay. Is there a
A
second?
second.
Motion is second. Is there any discussion or questions? Call the roll, please.
Chairman Taylor?
Yes.
Commissioner Hatley?
Yes.
Commissioner Baker?
Yes.
Thank you
Looking
very
forward
much.
to it.
Best of luck.
Thank you.
Next item is, item 8 is new business.
No new business tonight, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Open discussion. Cindy, have anything? Glad to see you here.
Thank you.
Mr. Attorney,
Nothing, thank you.
Commissioners?
Go to Check Fest.
Yes.
Check this, coming up.
Hopefully it's not the last one.
No, it's 50 years this year. And I think I missed the first 4, and I've been in all of them since. On me. With that, we'll call the meeting adjourned. Our next meeting is October the 12th.
Thank you.